Reducing night feeds in toddlers. Now, I got this question this week. My 13-month-old is down to 2 feeds a night, usually around 12:30 and 4 a.m. We are wanting to cut down to 1 feed overnight, so removing the 4 a.m. feed makes sense to us as I'm back at work now and regularly have a 6:30 a.m. meeting. The last 2 nights we've tried Dad going in to resettle at 4 a.m. and Bub has had a hard time resettling and wakes on and off until 5:30 or 6 a.m, even with hubby co-sleeping. When I do a 4 a.m. feed, he'll sleep solidly until 6:30, sometimes 7. Wondering if it's better to have Dad continue to resettle for a while or have myself go in and gradually reduce the duration of the feed each time until he's happy with just a cuddle at that time. Okay, so there's a couple of ways we can go with this. We can either continue just as Dad's doing and see what happens in a day or two. Look, I wouldn't give it too many days in all honesty. Going with that sort of method, I think if you're having success, you would see that within a couple of mornings. And if they've already started, they might as well commit to it and try for a few more days. But generally speaking, this wouldn't really be the method that I would apply to this situation. Now, the first point I want to make is that when we are changing the expectations a toddler might have about how many feeds they get overnight, we don't want to be having that very first conversation at 4 a.m. really, within a couple of hours of dawn, because the nighttime sleepy hormones are wearing off, the daytime hormones are starting to kick in, and us as parents, we're often at our lowest ebb at around that time in the morning. So basically any change that you're going to initiate at that time of day might be quite hard, demoralizing and really exhausting. So in this particular situation, I would probably suggest tackling that midnight feed first. Not cutting it, because of course it's a long way through to 4 a.m. from bedtime, but how about we move it? So instead of just getting rid of one of the feeds, how about we move it together? So instead of just getting rid of the 4 a.m. feed or getting rid of the 12 a.m. feed, how about we make it a 2 a.m. feed? And that way, the only one we're really needing to delay is that midnight one. And with the extra sleep pressure that's still going to be around at midnight and all those sleepy hormones, it's going to be far easier to delay or console them in other ways at 12 midnight rather than 4 a.m. Now, of course, if that 4 a.m. wake up is a well-worn part of the nighttime routine, the wake up may still happen for a while. But if you know that your child already fed at 2 a.m., then you know that you can probably stretch them through till about 6. Either way, whether Dad carries on with the 4 a.m. resettle or whether they move that one remaining feed to 2 a.m, it's likely that either scenario is probably going to result in an earlier morning wake up for a start, probably around 6 a.m. They might not get their little one through till 7, but you know what? That's okay. In the early stages, while we're shifting expectations, that's kind of a natural event that may take place. So if you're in this situation and you're thinking 2 feeds, we've got a toddler, could probably do with just going down to 1 feed, rather than ditching one or the other, think about how you can blend them into one as a starting point. So that's the way I would explain it, and that's the way I would tackle it. But if you've got any other tips or you've found an easier way, please share in the comments below. I'm always open to new and unexplored attachment-focused hacks. And if we haven't met before, I'm Katie, your go-to infant sleep coach for mindful parenting and secure attachment. And if you like what you've heard here, why not check out my other videos too? And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of them.